welcome everybody. Welcome to B3U. I'm your girl Bree Charles, and today we are here with Dr. Geneda Kearney. Did I say that correct?
Yes.
Okay. She is the author of A Year and 20 Days Motherhood in the Fast Lane. So we know how in today's world sometimes um, life happens so fast, faster than what we're prepared for. So, with that being said, when trauma and responsibility and pressure collide, power can feel like it's lost. But Dr. Geneda has written a book to kind of guide us through that. So, Dr. Geneda, tell us a little bit about motherhood and a year and 20 days of motherhood in the fast lane.
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. So I did write my first book, A Year and 20 Days, Motherhood in the Fast Lane. And what that encompasses is my experience of first going through the process of grieving my mother, and becoming a mom while not having my mother. And that was really big for me. That was a really big part of my pregnancy and motherhood itself. Um, and then dealing with postpartum and not even really getting to go through postpartum because I found out I was pregnant again, when my son was 3 months old. And so then navigating that world of, okay, I have a 3 month old and I'm pregnant again. How am I going to do this? Like, how is this even possible? Like, how am I going to make it through this? And just dealing with grief and loss and postpartum and trying to figure out my identity and just the chaos of mentally everything that was going through my mind and that I was experiencing through this journey. Um, and having a point where I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. However, I found within that God was there the entire time, and He was the one that was guiding me. And when I felt like I had no strength, it was Him and His strength, that was where I was able to push forward and to move on and to make it out of this.
Okay, so would you say that's what inspired you to write this book?
So actually, what inspired me, I got sick with pneumonia, and in the midst of finding out I was sick, I was doing a fast with my church. And so I found out that I had pneumonia, and I was like, okay, I can stop the fast or I can continue. And I was like, I really want to push through with the fast. And so I finished the fast. And after the fast, I had like this serious conviction that did not feel good, but God like really called me out on some things that I really needed to work on. And after praying and, dealing with my conviction and really like internally reflecting came the vision to write this book.
Okay,
Yes.
good stuff. Oh, awesome. So you described the book as for moms surviving silent battles. Can you share what some of those silent battles were for you, and why did you feel compelled to share them in your book?
Okay, so I'll say first, I'm going to work backward. I did not feel comfortable sharing them. That was literally God, like, you asked me to use you. You say you want me to use you. This is how I need you. Like, this is your work. This is how you are going to serve me. And so me sharing that was obedience, a yes and an amen, and stepping out of my comfort zone and worrying about what people would say about me, what they would think, like a perspective they would have, this image of me having it all together. That goes to the wayside, and it was literally obedience. The yes, I'm going to do it and share it. And then silent battles that come up or came up in my book. It goes back to losing my mom, the grief and not even knowing how to deal with that. For the longest time, I was in denial, and this is something that I did not talk much about publicly, but I've started to talk about it more with women that have read my book and are like, oh my gosh, like I lost someone close to me, and you talked about this, like, and so the denial of for the first 2 years, I literally was telling people that my mom was on vacation and I just couldn't talk to her. And so in my mind, I knew that she had passed away. I could not accept it. Like, to me, she was just gone and I couldn't talk to her. And that was that. And that's just something that, a lot of people go through, a lot of people don't
Yes, they
talk
do.
about.
Mm-hmm.
But it was real for me. And
Mm-hmm.
so I really had to come to terms with the fact that she is gone. Like, you can't talk to her, you will not see her. So now, what are you going to do to work past this? Because you cannot be stuck in this. Like, I was not my best self being stuck in the denial. Another silent battle is just postpartum depression. That hit me hard with both of my children. And I didn't know. Growing up, you hear a lot of like, pray it away, but it's deeper than that. Like, yes, prayer for me is important. That's a huge part of my faith, but also I had to do therapy. I had to talk about it. I had to talk about stigmas, not just with women, but specifically within the Black community. I had to do the work. I had to, address what I was feeling and why I was feeling, like the root of it, to really work through it. And then that awareness, because people will say, postpartum is a thing, but no one really talks about it.
Right.
So really, like, dealing with that head on and being aware, because the more you talk about it, the more you know, the more you learn, the more you can help others around you, because it is a real thing.
And that's the thing that I would like to uh, guide or teach my audience.
Yeah.
And you hit it so perfect. Those silent battles,
Yeah.
where we're always on the outside. We are trying to be strong.
Yeah.
We are finding ways to cope with the pain so nobody sees that pain. I know exactly what you're talking about when you say that. Is because me being retired, me being a retired veteran of military. That's the way I would cope with fear.
Yeah.
I think we all find a way to cope with the fears of realization.
Yeah.
Realization when that person is gone and you weren't there. Were you there?
Yes.
So with your mom while she was.
Yes. So
Okay.
I watched her take her last breath.
Wow.
And
yeah. That is a hard thing, and sometimes it's heavy. And so we put that mask and that on, like I used to do that. My sister, when she passed away, I was gone for so long in the military. And then when I, finally got out and met the man of my dreams, got married, and I wanted her to come to my wedding, but she was just too sick to come.
Yeah.
And then she passed shortly after that, and it was hard. Certain things just become hard for us to bear. So we go, and I did the same thing.
Yeah.
She's still back home. She's home in Philly.
Yeah.
I'll go visit her when I get a chance. Because I wasn't used to
Yeah.
seeing everybody anyway, so it was easy for me to just say,
Right.
they're still where they are.
Yeah.
And that's like a slow death. Would you agree to say it's a slow death? Because when that realization hits, it's like, oh,
it's hard.
Not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, what are you going to do? So, what do people do? Therapy, as I heard you say, therapy is a great one.
Yes, I'm big on therapy. I'm big on community.
Okay.
I personally, I believe the devil loves isolation. Isolation is where every and anything can attack the mind. It can bring you down. You can start to question yourself. You can start to sabotage yourself. You can start to just really beat yourself up and go into a dark space. And so I'm big on trusted and safe community. Like, even if your community are two people, that's two people that you can be open, honest, and vulnerable with, that you can trust, that's safe, and you can share your innermost thoughts, feelings. You can cry, you can yell, you can scream, you can laugh, you can pray, whatever you need, you have that. And so I'm big on finding your community, finding people that you can relate to, who can relate to you, that understands you, that accepts you, and that's willing to walk with you through whatever you're going through. And then, of course, obviously for me, like prayer, but I think outside of those things, therapy and community are like two really big things that for me, like, I would not be where I am if it was not for that.
And I agree with that. I agree, and that's what people need. Tap into your community, whether it be faith-based, two good girlfriends, two good guy friends. I just say silence can be tricky. It could be real tricky when you keep to it. Most people, I don't want to tell everybody. I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to bother anybody else with my grief.
But I was going through it.
Say that again.
And we're all going through it in
Yes.
some way or another. You talking to someone else may release them in what they're going through, and that may start the healing process for them as well, because you're being silent, they're being silent, no one's talking, but then you start talking, they're like, whoa, like you can relate. And that's what I got a lot with the book, like, oh my gosh, like you went through this, like you lost your mom, you lost a baby, like yes.
Well, now, without spoiling too much, though,
Yes.
spoiling, what does the 20 days refer to? Is it symbolistic? What does it refer to?
So it's almost like redemption. And so for me, dealing with everything that I went through in my story, coming out on top, knowing that God wastes nothing. Everything that I went through was for a reason, it was for a season. I was chosen. I think about, who I am was intentional, and it was put together piece by piece. Like I was knitted in my mother's womb, and my story was put together as well, before I was even thought of. And so that's what that 20 days symbolizes, like the redemption of all of this. And I mean, more to come, it just,
Okay.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, what role did faith or spirituality play in healing and the writing process? Does the book aim to help women of faith, or is it more universal?
So I will say, I'm going to answer again backward.
Okay.
My book is not for one of faith. It is not for just someone in, spirituality and religion and faith. It is for anyone. So like universal. I want to make it is universal, and I want to make that so clear. Yes, I talk about my faith. Yes, I talk about my journey. Yes, I talk about my belief. However, it is not just for people of faith. It is not even just for women. It is for men. It is for adults. If you can relate to one thing in my book, it is for you. Like,
right.
And so I never wanted to be categorized as just one thing, because I think that me being able to reach people, people being able to relate to my story, people being able to be healed, to be delivered, to be able to understand others, it goes beyond a category. Like it is just for the people.
For the people.
It is for the people.
Yeah.
And so
whoever has the eyes to see and the ears to listen, who want to make that decision to be helped, will receive it. We're going to come right back with Dr. Geneda Kearney in a few minutes. Okay, well, welcome back. Welcome back. This is really good here because it's key for people to understand that silence can be so more devastating and more hurtful than just getting in that community. So I'm glad that we touched on that, because this, as I was explaining during our break, is the reason for B3U and why it exists. So B3U stands for Burn, Break, and Become Unstoppable, right? So the thing about it is when we're doing things like that, people have to, I want everybody to understand that you have to make a decision first, because we could write all the books, we can have all of the talk shows, we could have all the anything. But what I realized that when you are in your trauma, or when you are in your season of turbulence, I will say that you have to say, okay, I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to go through the storm, and I need to make a decision on which way I'm going to go with this. Am I going to stay stuck in my grief, or am I going to come out of it? Postpartum, back in the 70s, well, I would say 80s, because I was born in the 70s. I was, oh my goodness, about that. But in the 80s, I didn't know anything about postpartum. Postpartum, like you said, they have very little knowledge. They speak very little about postpartum. And I know because my children, one of my daughters went through postpartum, and she didn't realize what it was until afterwards. So the thing about trauma is, first, ground yourself, make the decision like, I gotta get out of this. there's a way. I have to find a way out of it. Surrounding ourselves with community, and then making that best decision and say and grow step by step by
Mm-hmm.
step. All of our trials and tribulations is a foundation, and so you built that foundation,
Yeah.
and then you've come out to share it universally with the world
Yeah.
to help people. So what do you want? What do you hope for your readers to take um, away from after finishing a book? What do you want them to take away?
I just would like them to realize that they are never alone. What
Hmm.
they're going through, not just someone else. So many people go
So
through,
many.
and
Yeah.
just it may be just in a different way. That it doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter your background. Whether you grew up in a two-parent household, in a single household, if you have what type of background. We all go through the same thing, just different life experiences, and so you're never alone. Like I said, there is unity in community,
Hmm.
in that God wastes nothing. Everything that we go through is for a
A
reason. It
reason,
is for
yes.
a greater purpose. And so, it is important that we work through that, we understand that, because that is a part of shaping us and who we are, and just growing into the people that we are meant to become.
Because everybody has a purpose.
Yes.
Everybody has
Yes.
a purpose. You
Hmm.
have to hold on and be strong enough to want to know what is my purpose.
Right. And beyond faith, we all have a purpose in life. Like, it goes beyond, my personal belief in faith. Like, take that, put that aside. We are all here for a reason.
Hmm.
We are all here to make a difference, to impact the world, to make it a greater place. And so we can't do that without knowing our purpose and who we are.
Right. Knowing your purpose, and then clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Clarity is the biggest thing, another big thing, because it's a few big
Yeah.
things, but the decision is a big thing, and
Mm-hmm.
then clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity. And okay, what is my purpose, and what is the clear path to get to a healthy mind state
Mm-hmm.
with your children now? What is your mind state now that your babies are here?
I think I'm in the most healthy space
Hmm.
that I've ever been, even prior to them. At one point, I grieved who I was prior to becoming a mom, becoming a wife. And like, I look and I'm just like, wow, like, I love the woman that I've become, um, because the trials and the tribulations, it made me who I was. The reflection, the work, you have to put in the
You
work.
have to
It
put it.
has made me who I become, and I never thought I would make it to this point. I'm so proud of myself, and I don't. It's so funny. I don't think I've ever said that. I am so proud of myself because it could have broken me, and I
Hmm.
could have stayed in those dark places. Um, but even more of wanting it for my kids, because my kids deserve the best mother that they can have, but I deserve the best version of me. And so, it's always continuous work. So I'm not at my final destination right now. Like, I love this space, but I'm still
You're
working. Like,
still
there's
working.
always more. There's always
Hmm.
evolving. There's all, evolution is forever a thing. But I would say, like, just reflecting, I am so proud because it could have broken me. Like,
Hmm.
it could be where I'm not even here today, and God has kept me, and I've just defied so many odds, and I know that I'm here for a greater purpose and greater plan. And yeah, I'm really grateful.
So what it sounds like to me is you're saying I had faith
Hmm.
and my works, because
Yes.
faith without
Yes,
works
it's dead.
is dead. The Bible teaches us
Yes.
that. And so that's another thing, you can't just say, ah, I want to have all these things in life,
Hmm.
and you just sit there and wait for them to
Right. Yeah.
manifest out the sky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I applaud your resiliency,
Thank you.
and I'm glad that you came to a realization that you heard yourself say, "I'm proud of
Yes.
myself." You have to, isn't it funny how when you talk to yourself out loud, when you hear it, like even on the way coming driving, I was talking out loud. It
Yeah.
sounds so, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, being nervous,
Uh-huh.
you get
Yeah.
those nervous, but you just have to say, you know what, out loud,
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
This is my season. This is my time. And that's what I encourage people, because there's so many people out here dealing with the grief, suicidal, homicidal,
Mm-hmm.
all these things because they're not coping. They're not able to cope. But
Right.
sometimes you just have to slow the world down,
Mm-hmm.
just slow the world down and just breathe
Yeah.
and say, okay, this is the direction. And I love it. Foundation. All the things that you went through was your
Yeah.
foundation. And it's the reason why you're here today, to
Yes. Yeah.
give our audience all this good knowledge,
Thank
girl.
you.
So, how do you think your book can help conversations about mental health, grief, motherhood challenges, especially among women of faith or underrepresented communities? How do you feel your book
Yeah,
can help?
that's good. I think that it can open the floor for those conversations to read without giving away too much, but to read, the various griefs that I experienced. Someone who believes so much, but to still go through so much, to still grieve so much, and to have the faith, but then to see that it is shaken and it is uncertain, and to still navigate that. To experience loss in more than one way. I think that it just opens the space for dialogue. It opens the space for seeing someone regular. Like, I'm just a
A
regular,
regular person.
a regular person,
Yeah.
and that too is why I want to start a book club, like just where we read the book together and we talk about it and have those conversations, because again, so many people can relate. So many people have related, will relate. And I think that, just casually creating a safe space, a comfortable space, can allow for people to start opening up and talking about the things that they are silently battling, the things that have instilled fear in them, things that, they are grieving, struggling with. I think that, I know that the book will do that because I'm
So let
already
me
seeing
ask you, mother, educator, podcaster.
it.
I mean, with everything that you do on a daily basis, um, with those many roles, it must have been challenging for you. How did you balance your responsibilities while doing all that you
Yeah,
do?
I think that I'm still learning. Balancing is is something that's really important, because for the longest time I didn't think I could have it all. I thought that I had to be the perfect wife and the perfect mom, and I couldn't have anything else. Or I could have the career, but then I may not be able to have the kids or the husband. And for a long time too, different parts of my life suffered because I did not know how to balance. But my family is my first ministry. My husband and my children are my first ministry. And yes, I realize that I am still allowed to have dreams, to have goals, to have aspirations, because a lot of time, and not to slight, but we see that men can have it all. And it's kind of like, oh, women, you really can't, but you can. And I am living proof, and you are living proof. So many women are living proof that it does not matter who you are, you can have both. So one thing I just, carving out time, I am learning that I have to carve out time for myself, because I cannot be my best self and I cannot pour into those I need to pour into if I am pouring from an empty cup. That has been like one of the most difficult things that I've
Yes,
learned.
yes.
And I'm still learning, what I like, because my identity for so long was caught up in being a wife and a mom, or a teacher, or an assistant principal, or a professor. What do I like? Rediscovering myself again. What do I like? What do I enjoy? And making sure that I'm just intentional with my time. For work, once work is cut off, that's done. But then, take care of my family. But then I'm still a person, so I still get to do the things that I enjoy in a hobby, whether it's reading, whether it's creating, something, like whether it's making one of my visions, come to pass. Like, it's all about really being intentionality in what you want, and making sure that you carve out that time.
Girl, I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. You are so on point, and I'm going to talk a little bit at the end about things that you said. So, what changed for you personally and spiritually through the process of writing the book? Like, once you wrote the book,
hmm um,
yeah.
I think my faith even more became bigger, in a sense of, wow, God, like, you, like, I have the receipts. I've seen that you can do anything, but I'm still in awe of all you do and how you use me. I realize that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to know everything. I don't have to have everything lined up. I just have to be willing for him to use me. And it doesn't have to be showy. It doesn't have to be glamorous because, you know, what I shared is not glamorous. It is some of the darkest, deepest things that I battled. However, part of my purpose is to draw others in for his glory, and that's what that is. And so, yeah, I think that that's just a big piece of it.
Okay. Do you have any other plans for another book?
I have no idea. So let's let's get that one.
Let's get this
Let's
one
get
out of
this
the way
one
first.
out there. But you
Okay.
know, wherever he guides me, it will be a yes and an amen. Who knows? Like with the responses, you know, there may be like
Okay.
I have some ideas. However, right now the focus is that, and like I said, I really want to start like a book club, a community, some
Okay.
readings, and so you know, I really want to pour into this for now. But I'll never say no.
Are you involved in any support networks or community? Are you doing any of that now?
So working on it.
You're
Yes,
working. Okay.
working on it. So stay tuned.
Hmm.
I am, you know, on Instagram, and Facebook. So just stay tuned, and hopefully we'll get some things going quickly within the new year.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for mothers and all the women that are watching, look, is it men too, right?
Yes.
So for
Anyone.
all those watching and listening, what's one piece from your book? What's one piece of advice from your book you want everyone to get on early before the 20 days? What's everybody? What do you want to tell them?
Ooh. Okay. Um,
One piece of advice.
one
I know it's all
thing.
good stuff in there.
I,
It's all good stuff.
one thing that I would say, and I don't know if it's really advice, but maybe some encouragement, that you are not alone. Um,
Tell them.
oh. So, one thing that I will say is that you are not alone. Your life is valuable. You have a purpose and a plan, and you are needed here. Like my shirt says, you are enough.
Mm.
That's really important. You are enough. You are valuable. You are loved, and you're needed here. So you know whatever you may be dealing with, whatever you may be battling, just know that you are not in it alone. And you know, hopefully we can connect. Like I'm excited to meet so many people, and my prayers is that you know you read this and it touches you and you feel impelled um, to just make a decision to move forward in life, however that may look for you positively. And yeah, hopefully we'll connect.
Yeah. And where can you find your book?
You can find it on Amazon. It is on Kindle, and then there are the paperback and the hardback copies.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Look, Dr. Geneda Kearney. It has been a real pleasure.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad that we were able to come here and talk about your book. It's amazing. I can't wait to read it because,
Thank you.
look, everybody needs that kind of and upliftment.
Mhm.
And that's what I want to send to my audience. The same thing is make that decision. Make a decision to find out what your purpose is. Get aligned with people who have your same background and mentality.
Mhm.
Okay, because you can't surround yourself with people who are going in a different direction than you. If you expire, if you want to learn how to get over grief, go into those communities. There's so many people that I'm learning in today's
Mhm.
age, with just coming out with doing talk shows and speaking to a lot of people. It's like there are more people out here
Yeah.
than I realized. But
Mhm.
it takes you to open your mouth,
Yeah.
okay, and be transparent. Don't let fear keep you so captured
Mhm.
to where you're like, oh, I'm just going to keep it to myself. I don't
Yeah.
want to worry anyone. When you're missing out on everyone that has been through something similar, and if you just open up, speak, and talk, you will find out that
Right.
so many people
Yeah.
have been through something similar or maybe just the same, and
Hmm.
helps you guide you out. And that's what B3U is about: burn, breaking, and become unstoppable. Stoppable, breaking cycles, building legacies. So join. Please look at her book on Amazon, and she said, and tune in to B3U, the Big Take Back, because we're taking this back, girl,
Yes.
and it's called the Big Take Back for a
Yes.
reason. Because with people like myself, you, and so many others, this is the time where I believe, like, I see more people coming out to help their
Mm.
fellow brother, their sister, to get out of this trauma that we've been in for
Yeah.
decades. So I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for
Stay
having
tuned.
me.
Yes, stay tuned with B3U, the Big Take Back. Bree Charles, we'll see you again.